Anatta or non-self is the essence of emptiness present within and around us. For example, when our doubts fade, there is only emptiness, yet we fail to realize this. We are unaware of our fleeting thoughts, emotions, mental images, and perceptions, all of which are manifestations of mental formations, citta sankhara. We engage with these thoughts, allowing them to create stories, attaching value and significance to them. However, when we cease to fabricate and embellish these thoughts, nothing can affect us anymore. It all dissolves into anatta. There is no self and nothing that belongs to us anymore. Anatta is a universal characteristic, manifesting constantly in all beings, yet it often goes unnoticed. To truly grasp this, one must cultivate the ability to see it directly. By observing our own thoughts and understanding their nature, we can progressively comprehend this principle. For example, after thinking, there is emptiness. After eating, there is emptiness. After completing work, there is emptiness. Speaking also leaves behind a state of emptiness. This pervasive emptiness exists continuously, revealing that the sense of self and identity is a construct born from mental fabrication. Look back at ourselves, reflect on our own being. The body and mind we identify as us, the possessions we claim as ours. We believe the house, car, family, friends, and business are ours. Our attention is always turned outward, constantly engaging with the external world, but we seldom turn inward to truly understand ourselves. When we lose something precious, we suffer deeply. This suffering remains hidden because the mind, conditioned by its own fabrications, creates a thin veil like a soap bubble that shields us from seeing or understanding the truth. The mind fears being exposed to reality, so it blinds itself to its own true nature. If we believe we are in pain, it's because we assign meaning to that pain. Let's think about this together. Our parents loved each other, got married, and interacted. The father's sperm joined with the mother's egg, forming an embryo. Due to ignorance, avidya, the embryo begins to develop, growing limbs and taking shape. It gradually matures, nourished by the food the mother consumes. This growth is sustained by food, water that the mother eats, all of which come from the natural elements: earth, water, wind, and fire. The food that the mother eats, whether from plants or animals, provides the nourishment for the embryo in her womb to continuously develop and grow. After the mother gives birth to a tiny baby, the parents give the child a name, identifying it as male or female. They teach the child to recognize, this is your father, this is your mother, these are your grandparents, these are your relatives. They teach us to speak, to eat, and to learn about the world. We go to school, find a job, take care of ourselves, start a family, have children, and eventually grandchildren. As we grow older, we start to age and get sick, and we experience suffering. If this body truly belonged to us, why can't we control it? Why can't we command it not to fall ill, not to feel pain, not to age, or not to die? When someone insults us, we feel hurt, sad, angry, and dissatisfied. We fail to realize that they are simply acting according to their own nature. From head to toe, every part of the body has a name: head, face, torso, arms, legs, and all the organs, because we have given them names. We've come to cling to the belief that this body is us, and that it belongs to us. In reality, this world is merely a convention. We have created language as a temporary tool. Don't be misled by it. It's like when we sleep and dream. In the dream, we have a body, parents, relatives, and loved ones. But when we wake up, we realize it was all an illusion. awaken, and experience the joy of enlightenment, for none of it is truly real. The Buddha taught, Sabadhamma anatta, all phenomena, all knowledge, all understanding are without a self. None of it truly exists, not even us. Some people feel deep emotional pain, but where exactly is that pain? Is it in the mind? The mind itself is an empty, clear space without any self-I. When we fall ill, we can't stop the illness or the pain. We can't prevent aging, nor can we control it. Our parents, grandparents, and ancestors eventually pass away, leaving behind emptiness. We are the mind, so why do we foolishly cling to these things? Let the mind answer. We are the mind, a mind that is empty, clear, pure, boundless, and formless, yet aware. But it does not know itself. It clings to citta sankhara, the mental formations that create thoughts and assign value. Citta sankhara refers to the mental fabrications, the conditioned activities of the mind, constantly changing and impermanent. These mental formations arise and pass away, creating endless narratives. If the mind can see itself, then we will not suffer or be troubled by these illusions. We must come to understand dukkha, suffering. Dukkha is the state of being difficult to endure, an existence that cannot remain as it is, a condition of pressure and discomfort. It includes birth, aging, illness, death, encountering what is unpleasant, separation from what is loved, and unfulfilled desires. The five aggregates, khandha, the components of life, are form, the body, sensation, feelings or emotions, perception, memory or recognition, mental formations, thought processes and fabrications, and consciousness, the awareness of phenomena. Therefore, we must learn to recognize suffering, understand its cause, realize its cessation, and know the path that leads to the end of suffering. This is the core of our practice. The Buddha taught that aside from suffering, nothing arises. Aside from suffering, nothing ceases. Only suffering arises, only suffering persists, and only suffering fades away. This teaching points to citta vimutti, the liberation of the mind, which is the state beyond suffering. It is the mind itself that attains this freedom. The mind is a nature that is free from suffering. The mind itself never suffers and never arises. Since it does not arise, it cannot cease either. The mind is the element of awareness, the knowing nature that is present with us at all times. There is no moment or instant where this nature is not functioning. The mind continually performs the function of knowing, from the moment of our birth to the present, and even for those who have departed this world. Every mind, whether it belongs to beings in the three realms of existence or to the noble ones, including the Buddha, shares this same nature. There is no difference. The knowing nature is free from all fabrications, undefinable and unexplainable. It is a nature that we all inherently possess, and there is never a moment when we are not aware. We are aware at all times, yet we rarely recognize this nature. We don't often think about understanding this inherent nature. Instead, when we study and practice the Dharma, we seek principles and methods, but often neglect the mind and the nature we already possess. The mind is the fundamental knowing nature, the origin before all fabrications and phenomena arise. Before anything else existed, this nature was already present. This nature is the mind itself, pure and radiant by its own nature. The mind is awareness itself, and no one owns it. It is naturally luminous and pure.